I think the most valuable thing that I learned within like podcasting and content creation is just to embrace my voice, like just for what it is. I feel like throughout life and even throughout my journey of like podcasting and trying to figure out like my sound and how I want to present myself to people, like I think that I could have been like overly animated or just watching the examples of other people. Like I had an aunt who was in radio and I felt like I needed to present myself a particular kind of way. Um, I just learned to embrace my own voice. And my voice is like very like low and slow, and sometimes it could be like a little raspy just depending on the season because I have like bum ass allergies. But really, like, this is my regular voice. And don't get it twisted, like I I'm a very animated person. So sometimes I might put on an accent or, do different inflections with my voice and stuff like that because I'm just like a character. I'm very animated sometimes. But like for the most part, like this is just who I am. And this is absolutely fine. I even found myself like during work, um, feeling as though like I take my position seriously when I work, right? So I feel like there were certain times now at my current position where I just felt like I just had like this very performative voice. And it got to the point where like I was realizing like at the end of the day I felt like I was having like laryngitis. Like, you got to understand, I'm talking to people every day all day. Sometimes I don't even get a break to even swallow my spit. And I realized like I was causing a lot of strain to my voice because how I was speaking was very unnatural. And I realized that when I started speaking naturally, some people had like an issue with that. Some people will think like just off of the off of the way my tone is because I sound a lot more low. That could be frowned upon, especially being a woman. But when your voice is lower, people will perceive you as being more competent or like no nonsense. And that's exactly who I am to the core of me or whatever the case. But like throughout like the duration of the call, like the person could see if they're paying attention, figuratively see that I am providing great customer service. I'm asking probing questions. I'm clear and concise. I am actually very friendly. I'm just not putting on a performance for you. Like, I've never heard within any job that I've ever had before, like a man being told, could you make your voice like a little bit higher? Could you seem like a little bit more friendly or more welcoming? Like, they want you to like provide like this unrealistic fake pitch to your voice to like, grab people in. But it's just like, what the fuck? I'm not doing that. I decided at my big old age of 34, I'm not doing that no more. My regular voice is just fine. It is just fine. And again, I am very animated when the time calls for it. I'm very silly a lot of the times. So yeah, my voice might appear to be a little bit higher. I might put on a little bit of a little accent just to add a little pizzazz. Like, it all just depends on my mood. Honestly, I can speak really articulate, or I can speak in ebonics, whatever the scene calls for. I could do it. And I think there is a difference between like code switching and then like it's a difference between like code switching and then like performing for me. I felt like I was doing a heavy amount of both, but I don't have to perform for any fucking body. If you hear my voice being a little bit higher, it might be because I'm excited, because I seen something cute, or because something made me emotional, or because I might be attracted to somebody. Maybe. If you hear me being a little bit lower, I might be talking about something more serious, or I need to be very matter of fact with you. So, like I'm very no nonsense. It just, honestly, it just depends. And in the field that I'm in, I have to, my regular voice is perfect for the environment that I'm in, because these people need to understand that I'm not fucking playing with them. I deal with a specific demographic, so I have to talk a particular kind of way. I can be friendly, but I can't be too friendly, if you catch my drift. But for the longest time, since I believe like I was younger till now, I feel like I've always been trying to find my voice, and I felt like I've always been performing. And for the first time in my life, I actually feel like I can appreciate my voice for what it is now. And I'm not trying to be nothing or do nothing that I'm not. You know what I mean? And that's the greatest thing that came out of content creation, like really embracing who I am and not giving a fuck about how somebody thinks I laugh or how somebody feels like I articulate my words or the way that I do this and the way that I do that. Fuck them people. Whoever is supposed to appreciate it is whoever is supposed to appreciate it. And that's just that on that. But a lot of heavy life lessons have came from me doing what I'm doing. And I couldn't be more proud or appreciative for the journey and the path that I'm on right now. And continuing to discover more of myself. It is a blessing and a privilege to discover more of myself every day. And to have all of these different realizations that I probably wouldn't have made if I wasn't in the type of profession that I'm in right now. So thank you for everybody. I mean, thank you to me, of course, for coming to the realization, but also thank you for the people who just appreciate me for being me and hearing my voice how you hear it without all the performance shit. I remember getting on this microphone, and like I said, I had an aunt in radio, so I used to be like, "Hello, my name is Tatiana from the Heartbill Podcast." You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Like, not even knowing, like, that's her. That's her niche. That's what she do. And we doing two different things. You know what I'm saying? She's a personality on the radio. I'm a personality on a podcast. The two are not the same. Just imagine hello, my name is Tatiana from the Hard Pill Podcast. Imagine that particular tone and that voice throughout the whole duration of the podcast. It would get really irritating. It would. And I felt like it was great to announce myself. But even still, I felt like there were just certain kind of things. I didn't feel like I was truly always being authentic to myself. And I'm glad that I'm back to truly being authentic to myself and being comfortable with just listening to my voice and embracing it for what it is and not allowing anybody to tell me what I should or what I shouldn't do or how I should sound. And me just rocking out how I want to rock out. It took a long time to really just embrace all different parts of me. Not even just my voice, just all different parts of me. Because it was always somebody telling me that this ain't good enough, that ain't good enough. And I always felt like I had to fucking perform. But being by myself has let me know that I don't have to do any of those things. And I'm perfectly okay with being who the fuck I am and giving people exactly who the fuck I am, however I feel like giving it up on any particular day. Whether it's me speaking, completely proper, or it's me, sounding like, what I'm saying, the West Hill of Albany, or whatever. But thank you for everybody who has, listened to me thus far and has gone through this journey with me, discovering who I am and fixing some of the pieces that I thought like was broken. Life is heavy when you feel like you got to perform. It's so, I know some people have like a certain perception of me. Y'all have no fucking idea. I am just as confused, just as broken, just as trying to figure this shit out just as much as y'all are. There are definitely some things that I'm very sure about when it comes to me, but there are a lot of things that I'm still just trying to figure out. Still. So, just as much as you guys are being patient with me, be patient with yourselves. Okay?